That man needs his butt whooped. Bottom line, I got no respect for it. And they spent a lot of time in episode 2, to me, painting a picture that Hillsong was unfair to Carl Lentz. And so Carl Lentz is the elders at the church discover he's having an affair with some tatted up woman named Rainin or whatever. I can't remember her name. I don't think she's even involved with the church. I think they discovered it through his text message. Who knows? Email, whatever. And then they find out that he's sleeping with and carrying on an affair with another Hillsong minister's wife who serves as the nanny of Carl Lentz's kids and his wife. She's basically living in their home. She's another Hillsong minister's wife living in their home or spending a lot of time in their home taking care of their kids. He's sleeping with her. He's lying to his wife about it. His wife suspects things, blah, blah, blah. And so Brian Houston and Hillsong, upon discovering this, they host a Zoom call, and they cut bait with him immediately. This is the way it's presented. And the documentary paints a picture, leaves you with the impression this was very unfair. They were very harsh. They should have done more to support him, blah, blah, blah. You got a church. Were they fair? Was the discipline fair in your...
As portrayed in the documentary, they are painting that picture like this was just shock and all. Just all of a sudden, hey, you're out. We found out, you're gone. I struggle with that because, again, megachurch, massive image that they have to deal with. I struggle with that part because I know of churches that, have a pretty good number and they may have an issue. If the leadership finds out about this before the membership and before it gets out, because apparently at the time, we don't know anything about social media. It's not out there. It's just somehow they see this on his text. That gives them the space and time to extend grace, to work with him, to investigate, is this what it was? And is he repentant? And all of these issues so that they can then decide where they want to go. The way that the documentary portrays it is they found out and it's just, hey, we got to get rid of this guy. Considering that image, I don't know. I think that there probably was a period of time where, hey, if we don't address, if we can't deal with this, if you're, unrepentant, if this is something that you have a problem with and we're not going to be able to go on, we're going to have to let you go. But they just made it look a different way. The other side of this is because of the way that they handled it, again, according to the documentary, they have a responsibility as the church to, if this is your brother in Christ, if this is how you view him, then, we don't kick him out and banish him and he's gone from our existence. Like, he's still my brother. Okay, maybe he's lost influence. Maybe he no longer is in capacity right now to lead the church, but he's still our brother. Like, we want to care about your healing, your family, your kids, the other family, if they're involved, etc. So I was just a little, the way that they did that, I'm not sure. I don't think that that's how that went down per my eye.
Discipline. Too harsh, not compassionate enough, Virgil?
Yeah, I think there are two factors to this piece. One is the qualifications for an elder, for a pastor in this instance, and it was obvious. Again, if we're to believe everything that we see and read in the documentary, that he abused his pastoral privilege, so to speak. He just abused it. He leveraged his power, his influence, his authority in a position where he had this young lady who, from what I read of the story, she was the nanny for his kids while she had kids of her own that someone else was being a nanny for. So that part for me was just problematic. That should have had everybody pumping the brakes. Like, if she's got her own kids at home, She should be taking care of her kids at home, not in his house nannying his kids. And so that to me was problematic. I didn't even know how that was transpiring. You've got all kinds of problems and issues there. But specifically with regard to his removal, once it was researched, studied, once someone found out that the facts surrounding it, I had no problem with them removing him from the position that he had, right? There was nothing wrong with that. I think they should have done so immediately and in the way that was right. There's a sub story as well, and those who actually go check out the FX deal will learn that I guess the daughter was involved in an incident so they wanted to keep the specifics quiet so that the daughter didn't do any additional harm, and apparently that wasn't accepted. The news got out there in a big way. So there are facets of the story that look really odd, why people would operate in the way that they did. But as it stands from regard to his removal immediately, once all the facts were out, I think that was proper and appropriate. I agree with Anthony. There should have been an ongoing conversation and an effort to just restore him back to believers in the faith, not to any role of pastor or any role of authority or anything like that. But somebody should have gotten around, and we don't know, maybe this did happen. Someone should have, from that church, elders in particular, should have put their arms around that family and navigated life with them so that they wouldn't be lost and having walked away from the church, which is what it's just how it currently appears that things have taken place.
I think, and again, this is no expertise, it's just Jason Whitlock. I don't think that the church had any choice. This man is sleeping with another minister's wife. I can't, for a church group, that's got to be the ultimate betrayal. And so he's caused conflict not only in his own life, but in another person's life. It's so, and this is where the documentary makes me think, like, the first episode, Carl Lentz wasn't in it. He wasn't a participant. They were just telling the story, giving the background. And then the second episode, Carl Lentz is on camera. He's a participant. And now we got the third and fourth episodes to look forward to. And it makes me think, no, the real target of this documentary is Hillsong. It's Brian Houston. It's not Carl Lentz, and a handful of women from the church are cooperating with some journalists and a producer to take down Hillsong. And it makes me very unsympathetic to Carl Lentz. I mean, just very unsympathetic. This seems like, and we'll have to see what happens third and fourth, but they've already kind of previewed that the third episode, they go back to some old music director from Australia that got run out of the church, and we listen to his narrative of how he got ran out of the church. We don't know, there's always two sides to every story. We don't know the other side. It feels like they're after Brian Houston and Hillsong more so, and it feels like Carl Lentz is in on it. It's like a revenge tour. If they had, and God forgive me for saying this, but if they had burned Carl Lentz at the stake, I wouldn't have shed a tear. This kind of betrayal. Another pastor's wife, she's in your house raising your kids, and she's got kids, and you a pastor, and you don't put your foot down and say, as a man of God, go raise your kids. I got a wife here to raise mine, and we can get another nanny. That man needs his butt whooped. Bottom line, I got no respect for it. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all of your fearless friends.